Hey there, it's Lindsay from the Full Bloom Wellness Lounge, and welcome to day 2 of the Eating Well for Less series. Now, yesterday we were talking about meal planning and kind of getting going, coming up with a strategy for how to plan out those meals. Today we're going to take it one step further with talking about low cost produce. Remember, the series is all about how to get those good, healthy foods into your body, but for less, right? So, this is where strategy comes in again. Let's jump into today's content. One of the most effective ways to eat well for less, of course, is to be mindful of the produce you buy. That's often what costs the most on your grocery bill. Putting your focus on long lasting and less expensive produce is a great way to reduce food waste, but also spend less on nutritious food like fruits and veggies. These long lasting, less expensive options include things like carrots, cabbage, apples, potatoes, celery, onions, melons, oranges, and on, right? They're the things that stay fresh the longest if you store them properly. That's kind of the caveat to that. Many pantry items can also be purchased in the bulk aisle of your grocery store, which can save you even more money. Stock up on things like whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. In fact, growing your own herbs and spices, or at least the ones you use the most, can save you a ton of money and provide an even fresher taste. They are simple to grow, even on your windowsill. A lot of them can be grown in winter. And then in the summer, during the growing season, if you have the luxury of an outdoor space for gardening, you could expand that even further and grow some of your most consumed vegetables. Another helpful strategy for buying healthy whole foods for less is to purchase produce that's in season. So in-season items are going to be less expensive, but they're also more flavorful because they're at the peak of freshness. So keep a list of what's in season on your refrigerator to keep those items fresh in your mind when writing your grocery list, and change it out as the seasons turn. Another thing that you can do to get fresh local produce is to do a search for farms near you. Do that on Google or Facebook or however you want to search. But many farms now offer vegetable shares, even in the winter, where you can either subscribe or purchase larger quantities of their particular products. So look online, see what's available on their website or what information is there on their website or Facebook page, and then contact them, because a lot of times farmers are very willing to work with you and things might be available to you that you don't even know. So it helps to get that conversation started. I also think it's super important to keep seasonality in mind, like I said before, when you're trying to save money. So if you buy strawberries in January, you're going to pay more. Not to mention, they just don't taste the same, right? Have you ever bought or had a strawberry in January? It is not like a summer sun-ripened strawberry. So know that. Same thing for watermelon and sweet corn. Out of season produce just simply costs more and it doesn't taste as good. So know that going in and as you're planning. As for buying pantry items in bulk, I'm going to warn you, there's a fine line between overbuying just to get a seemingly lower price and buying just for the sake of buying the bigger bag. For example, that 50-pound bag of rice at the grocery store may seem like a great deal. It is much cheaper than buying, those two or four, whatever they are, serving bags. But if your family rarely eats rice, what's the point of having 50 pounds of it, right? But if your family routinely goes through rice, that might be a very good deal for you. So be aware, be mindful of what your family will actually use. I am so guilty of this myself. If you still want to buy that giant bag, maybe you can split it up with a neighbor or coworker or friend or family member or something like that. And just keep your eyes open, because the grocery store is not the only place that you can find stuff like this. There's a Amish grocery store that we used to go to in Wisconsin that just had giant bags of stuff like oats and rice. So I remember I still have it. This is like 3 years ago. But a giant, I think it's a 50-pound bag of oats, like rolled oats. That is so much cheaper than buying the smaller bags, right? I think this 50-pound bag of oats was like $30 or something crazy. So of course, like, sign me up, and I'm still eating it today. So just be on the lookout for those kinds of things if it makes sense for you and what you like to cook and what your family likes to eat. At the end of the day, it's all about planning. Keep in mind what we talked about yesterday as far as meal planning goes, and this is going to help you to know where to focus your time and money. So your action steps for day two of this challenge is to print the given list of low-cost produce and hang it right on your fridge or wherever you make your grocery list. Highlight your favorites or highlight what's in season. Might have to print off a couple copies or however you want to do it. You're going to find the list that I created for you in your workbook. So make sure you download that and have all of the written content as well. So your job for today, of course, if you missed yesterday's action steps, go back and watch that video, read that content. Today, we're going to print out that list of low-cost produce so that you start to get familiar with it. It starts to become second nature for you. Highlight your favorites on there and then get ready for day 3 tomorrow. So make sure you get that workbook printed. I included a ton of really great recipes that are all meal preppable. Is that a word? Preppable? It is now. So you're going to want to get your hands on that. So check out that link and let me know what questions you have. Any questions, pop them under one of these videos and I will be in here and ready to answer those. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for day 3.